Hey everyone, thank you for watching Infinite Realms. Today, more Animal Warriors of the Kingdom with Kali. The Great Kali! Couldn't resist. So, Kali, he looks... I was going to pass on Kali, but then I got to looking at him real close and I went, wait a minute, this is an interesting one. I kind of like the gold and how the figure looks. And as I got to looking, and he says it's conquest armor, so that's kind of interesting. So again, people say I don't go over packaging, so let's do that again. I mean, here it is, plastic on the front. You got a half plastic on the back, and you got a cartoon image on the side, a comic image, I should say. And then back here, you got cross sell, and you've got a blurb. And let me go over the blurb. Emperor Kali, reigning over all of the great animal houses. This tyrannical leader rules with an iron paw. My cat rules with an iron paw in the yard too. I mean, this happens. So, yeah. Anyway, let's break this guy open and see what we got here. Okay, now we have Kali out of the box. And as I've said, you know, here are the extra hands in a well camouflaged orange baggie. I will bet that is one set of grasping hands and one set of fists of fury. Now, he's got these wicked swords which look really good. Some have pointed those to looking like the swords from the Dothraki in Game of Thrones. I see where they get that from, yeah. And then, of course, he has his oddball blunderbuss type gun. Looking at the figure, the only reuse I see is possibly the legs, I think. I could be wrong there. It looks like those might have been used with Tiberius. And the rest of it, I mean, there might be reuse and there might be some new overlays on it, but I can't really tell. So, with the overlay, so no biggie if it is. He's a cool figure. He has some nice purple highlights there in his armor that I really dig. And of course, he's supposed to be the Emperor, so he's supposed to have purple highlights in his armor. I mean, that's just part of the game. And, you know, but it's hard to see, but the back of his, like, cape has purple as well. So, yeah, it's interesting colors. Blue for a gorilla? I wouldn't have thought of that. It's interesting. I like it. Blue and gold going together real well and then leading into purple. I mean, that's a good color choice, and I dig it. It's I don't know what turned me off about this character originally, because the first time I saw him, I was kind of like, I don't know. And then I just gave myself a shot, and I watched a review on him. I believe it was Kato's collection was the one I saw. I don't want to swear my life to that. And I thought, okay, yeah, this is pretty good. Of course, you know, Kato seems to be pretty close with the Animal Warrior of the Kingdom's people, so, you know, that's, which is good. That's cool, fine, whatever. But, yeah, it's a really decent figure. Another thing I really love is the shoulder here, where it looks to be possibly a lion. And I mean, when I say it looks like a lion, I mean, it looks, yeah, I mean, it looks like, almost like an oriental design, slightly, or at least influenced by it. So, again, another cool detail that I don't think is on any other figures. I know. Could be wrong. I won't swear my life to it. But yeah, I do dig this figure. It's I dig it a lot more than I originally thought I would. The gold really makes it. I mean, that's just really sharp, shiny gold. Yeah, and I dare say that's a lot shinier than the Atreus. Very much so, in fact. Of course, indicating that he is, you know, the High Royal House. Blah, blah, blah. So again, I've not looked at the lore. That's been hard for me, because it's like, what do I say about these figures beyond, you know, they've got really good articulation. They look good. I mean, what do you say about them beyond that? That's been the struggle with me doing these reviews. Don't get me wrong, I do like them. But I did want to stay out of the comic books until I finish these reviews. This being the last one, so now I can probably go in and read the comics. I get the sense this is one of the bad guys, or at least an antagonist or something for the story of whatever Animal Warriors of the Kingdom is. I get the sensation, there are not quite cut and dry, more shades of gray, maybe. I'm getting a sense of that as I've read these bios and looked at these figures. Because I don't think there's a clear-cut bad guy. It's just, this guy's not so great, and this guy's kind of okay, and, this is kind of probably your hero. But I get the sense that this guy might be in that not so great category. So think Lannisters from Game of Thrones, It's like, you don't really trust him except for that one guy. And you don't even really trust him, you just know he's smarter than everybody else. Right, you know how I'm talking. But Kali is not smarter than everybody else. That's the sense I get. I could be way off base, and I mean, if I am, that'll be fine. We'll go over that. Then probably Wave 2, I know, even though he's kind of expensive, General Thane looks really good. I think I will definitely get him. After that, I'm not sure. There's a couple of them in there that look alright. I think they look okay. But there's also a couple in there I'm kind of going, I don't know. There is a lot of reuse. Granted, this is a sort of, fantasy realm kind of thing, so I can see reuse. I mean, how many times do you need to do armor? Kali, obviously, yeah, you need to give him some special armor and try not to reuse his parts too much. Somebody, some of the guys like Atreyu and Tiberius, you could get some pretty good reuse out of them. So, yeah. On my rankings, this one is another 4.5. Just everything about it is pretty good. He had the stiffest joints of the figures I've gotten so far, and it really wasn't that bad. It was just, did take a little extra work. I started to heat him, and then I started to think about heating him, and then I just backed up and I said, I'm not He-manning it. It's just taking a little extra effort. So, yeah, I'll just keep going with that. I like Kali. Again, nice figure. Again, if you don't like the IP, you could just go and, make these like unmen for High Evolutionary, or even use them with another line. There's a lot of options here, and it's kind of fun that there are a lot of options. Alright, that will wrap up, I think, my review for Animal Warriors of the Kingdom. If you're gonna press me, I will say, yeah, get into the line. Give it a shot. Go with the website at Sparrow Toys. That first off, the manufacturer gets the most money out of it. Second off, they got the best prices, I think, from anybody. Yeah, 34 is a bit much for a figure. I do feel you get a little bit less with these than you do Action Force, because of, the accessories. You get like usually get a couple of weapons and maybe a shield and some extra hands. So yeah, comparative to Action Force, which, sometimes I keep forgetting Action Force has so many accessories, because it's usually guns, and then you holster up the guns and everything, and it's kind of like, well, where are all these accessories? And you forget about, oh yeah, you can take off the vest, So there's that too. I would like to see several of these have extra weapons. I would like to see some kind of scabbard or place for. I think adding that would bring a lot of dimension to the line. I don't know how feasible that is, but it's just a thought. And yeah, the whole line is really good. I think the pinnacle of it is probably, I'm going to lean heavily on the Chinari Trooper, the Chinari Legionnaire. I think that was one of the best because that spear was awesome and that shield was awesome. Both of those I thought were really great. So, yeah, I'm going to lean on that one for now. My opinion might change later. You never know. Okay, so that'll wrap up my review of the Great Kali on Infinite Realms. Don't forget to like and subscribe.